What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. Good evening, first and foremost. Welcome back to Real Red Talk, an authentic football fan channel dedicated to Manchester United. I've got one question straight off the bat. Sam, well, first and foremost, was we going to do an intro then? And then was we going to go back?
We'll just carry on. Fuck it.
I didn't have a clue if we was going to do it or not. It doesn't matter anyway. I've got one question straight off the bat for you. How many turns has this roller coaster got? How many more dips? How many more loops? How many more? Does it ever feel like it's going to end at this point? Short answer.
I think the only people who know are the Glazers. Everybody else is wildly scrambling in the dark, searching for information or any nugget of something that they can lay their hands on and go, oh, this is what's going to happen, because nobody knows a fucking thing, as we've seen by the antics of last night and today.
Yeah, for anyone who doesn't have a phone or pay much attention to social media, last night was just absolute carnage. People already congratulating Sheikh Jassim, people discussing transfers, like some of the Twitter spaces that was going on was like, finally, we've done it, blah, 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 and all this kind of pandemonium. And then we basically find out that it's some kid in Wales, in Cardiff, and somehow it's kind of transpired to this. I suppose that's kind of like...
You hosted illegal football stream links.
Yeah, that's the power of social media and rumor. Like
300 followers. He had less followers than we do, and
it's mad.
He started a fucking storm.
It's absolutely mad. But look, before we really dive into the drama, I just want to say thank you to everyone who's always consistently watching the channel, supporting us, interacting. We really appreciate it. You also know what I'm going to say as well. Please do continue to support, smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and get involved in the comment section as we go through this drama and another kind of round of updates. So as I mentioned last night, it appeared there was finally some news with the takeover. The club shares on the New York Stock Exchange climbed, I think, to like 16% in the after hours trading session after reports that the Glazer family were selling 100% to Sheikh Jassim. The share price then continued to increase overnight, passing the $24 mark before the markets then opened. As it stands right now, I've just had a quick look. The share price is currently at 22.7. So it's not dropped off dramatically, but it seems like it's slowly declining. Now, people are going to say, what does that mean? What does that mean? Blah, blah, blah. To be honest, it could mean fucking a number of things. People, unless you're an absolute financial expert, people are just speculating at this point. They're saying, oh, it's going up or it's staying because there's actually something happening. People saying it's rising. You just don't know, do you, Sam, with that, with the stock prices and stuff?
No, so, like, I'm not a financial expert, but I know enough to know how like markets work and stocks work. Like, I've watched enough documentaries and done enough sort of stuff on capitalism and that. Markets basically work on speculation and hearsay. So confidence is the biggest factor in determining a stock share price. So if traders are confident of something happening, stock prices go up. If they're confident of something that is definitely not going to happen, you'll see them drop, or things that they don't want to happen. It's not based on any fact a lot of the time. It's based on feeling. It's based on, oh, my mate knows this guy. Oh, he said this. Oh, have you heard this? But it's a lot of speculation and stuff. And you see the way the stock market works. When the stock market does well, the rich get richer. When it does shit, they stay rich and we get fucked over. That's basically how the stock market works. It's not unless you work within it, it doesn't work for you. And it's based on, it's worse than religion, really, in terms of just like, we're making shit up as we go along. Like, there's no solid basis for it. It's a game at the end of the day. So it's based on confidence, and basically a guy on Twitter got confidence, and then a source in Qatar, which is a newspaper which is state owned and state ran, took that source as a legit source when they shouldn't have done, which then they became the legit source because they are an actual newspaper, and then other press companies and other people ran with that. So it's just like connection between the two. So if you drill down, there's a really good article on The Athletic.
I've got it like up here, so
that's what you need
to
dive into. Like, if anybody's not subscribed to The Athletic, it's £2 a month. Just go do it. We're not sponsored by it. I just think it's a really good subscription. So go do it. Go look at it.
On that article that you mentioned, Sam, even the sources close to the Qatari bid were surprised and kind of blindsided by this news effectively being shared on like social media accounts and stuff. And the bid insiders have all insisted that there's been no communication about the Glazer decision, or even if it's been made, Like we said, apparently the rumour traces back to a Twitter account based in Cardiff, Wales, advertising illegal football streaming. So it's weird at this point. Just on the Alberton tweet. So the Alberton, just to kind of clarify for people who don't have a clue what's going on, this is the same article that Sam was alluding to in The Athletic. So the Alberton newspaper is one of the biggest publications in Qatar. The newspaper's Twitter account has more than 290,000 followers and has been verified with a blue tick since 2015, meaning it's recognised as a legitimate kind of publication. This is, again, according to The Athletic. Many on social media, as well as other media reports, also noticed that on Wikipedia, Hamad bin Jassim bin Jaber Al Thani, Jesus Christ, Sheikh Jassim's father and Qatar's prime minister between 2007 and 13, was cited as the newspaper's owner, but an account under the name of Alberton's editor has subsequently said the newspaper is not owned by the man known as HBJ. So there isn't any legitimate links in that regard. Now, the last bit I just want to touch on before I get Sam's thoughts on it. It was a Google translation of the Arabic text, which states, press reports the success of Sheikh Jassim bin Hamad and the acquisition of Manchester United, and the announcement of the deal is pending soon. The tweet does explicitly say Jassim has bought Manchester United and the deal will be announced soon and that the saga is over. So if the translation is good and this is a legitimate source, then why should we be cautious still? Because it could still be absolute bollocks, right, Sam?
From what I read in the article, like there's a reason why The Athletic is never one of these places where they're like first or like legit breaking stuff. They always do their research because they check the source and they check the source of the source and double check things and ask people who involved, etc. like that. So from what I read, it seems like this is how it started. However, just because it has 300 followers doesn't mean they weren't in the room, for example, or they didn't know. Yeah. So that legitimacy is a bit tricky. However, this just goes to show you how articles and how tweets and social media and stuff like that should not be taken seriously on any level. Just, you have to take everything with a pinch of salt and just be like, okay, this could be true, but it may well not be, and it may be based on nothing. So you just kind of have to sort of wait and see and just wait for legitimate outlets like the likes of David Ornstein, Laurie Whitwell, etc. Those sort of people will only put stuff out if they're as close to being sure on it as they can be. Obviously things can change, because I believe there's been a couple of instances where they've put stuff out and it has been true, and then literally it's changed last minute after they've put the article out. So I know that's it. But yeah, I put a tweet out on my own account just basically saying, don't believe everything you read on Twitter, because this whole Mbappe thing came up, and then he literally put a tweet out saying, I'm not going, I'm staying. So
yeah. Well, they say, don't they, like, it's 95% of shit that you read in the media is pretty much fake when it comes to football transfers and things like that. You ever seen Training Day? Denzel Washington. Mm-hmm. Yeah. He's got a newspaper and he's just like, this is a newspaper, it's 90% bullshit, but it's entertaining. That's why I read it. I don't read it for the fact I read it because it's entertaining. That's how you got to take social media. It's entertainment. Don't take anything seriously. With a speckle of truth. Speckle of truth. So what does this mean in essence for us, for Manchester United fans? We're exactly where we fucking was when we started this whole process in November. I was actually hopeful, not because it was Qatar or anything to do with that. I was just hopeful that this was finally coming to a conclusion last night, and maybe that's why I leaned into it a bit more. One of the other reasons why I leaned into it a little bit more was because the BBC economic expert, Faisal Islam, I think his name is, also commented on this situation, saying like it seems like it's going that way, maybe announced soon, blah blah blah. So I was leaning in towards that. I was like, right, okay, well, there's no smoke without fire. Surely something must be going on here, but it still seems very in the exact spot, which is fucking frustrating, if being completely honest. And we're still with these parasitic absolute idiots. So I don't know why they're dragging it on. I don't know why a decision hasn't been made. We heard from Mike Keegan that it'll be announced this week. I don't know where to go. I've got a few more updates to dive into there, but what do we do here now? Like, they had that board meeting, didn't they? It was not last Thursday, but the Thursday before, I think. They had a board meeting because Laurie touched on it, didn't he? Oh yeah,
in the interview, but they basically said nothing got decided in that board meeting. So they could well have a board meeting this week and decide nothing. Like, they're not under any deadline, they're not under any pressure to make a decision. So like, it could well drag on for another couple of weeks. It could well drag on till the season starts. Like, it wouldn't surprise me at this point.
It's the transfer window that I'm annoyed about. The transfer window opens on Wednesday. So that's why I was thinking it makes sense. Mike Keegan announced it on Sunday. You get all these reports last night. The deal gets announced on Tuesday. You can finally start looking at your targets and sorting that out. But then even, I was looking deep into that, and I'll get into these updates now. So a few more journalists have been talking about this. Rob Dawson from ESPN and MSI Douglas as well. Optimism around the Qatari bid is based partly on the feeling that Sir Jim Ratcliffe's proposal, which would allow some Glazer siblings to retain a minority stake, has proved complicated to thrash out after weeks of detailed talks. Ratcliffe's offer would use loans and bonds drawn from some of the biggest banks in the world to fund his purchases. With the debt market a nightmare, in the words of one source, it is far from a straightforward process. He also goes on to say Sheikh Jassim's bid team are desperate for a swift conclusion to the process because Premier League approval could take another 2 to 3 weeks, even after the sale is agreed. So regardless of, transfers, are still probably going to be affected at this point. It is going to drag in to the transfer window by the looks of things, and a number of potential minority investments are still waiting to hear if their offers to buy United have been successful. So you've still got that angle as well, Sam, that we touched on about the minority investments. It was like a legal battle, wasn't there? Something along the lines of that?
Yeah, like the way it's structured with Sir Jim Ratcliffe is he would buy the shares that the Glazers, or the other Glazers, Gertrude, Jimmy, Billy Bob, all the other Glazers.
Billy Bob.
That just seemed to show up when it's revenue time, when it's dividend time. He would buy that from all of them, and then he would buy some of Parasite 1 and 2's shares, but not all of them. That would leave them in a minority stake, so they could still take money out of the club, but he would have the controlling share, but he wouldn't buy the ones that are owned by other shareholders. I think it's like, is it 29%, 30%, something like that, along those lines. Because the Glazers 69% they own. So he would buy that, which basically means these shareholders would be out of pocket money wise. Had the full sale happen, they would not be able to capitalise and cash in and get some money. Glazers would take a shit ton of money, which would be above market value. So I think, what was it? He was offering 5-point-something billion just for most of their shares, whereas Sheikh Jassim's offering 5.6 or 5.7 for the entire thing. So he'd be offering above market value, and then he would buy the rest of them out, and he might not even buy out the other shareholders. Then he's giving them more money, so they're missing out on more money. So they're trying to sue the commission, who sort of runs the stock exchange and stuff like that. That they're missing out on money, and the way they're doing this isn't kosher and correct, because I know their company's registered in the Cayman Islands, and we all know when your company's registered in the Cayman Islands that it's nothing dodgy going on, is there? It's registered in the Cayman Islands. It's definitely nothing dodgy going on. So, for sure. Yeah, it's all very tricky. It's all little underhand dodgy dealings and what have you. So it wouldn't surprise me to see stuff like that going on as well. The cleaner break is obviously the Sheikh Jassim bid. 100%. Everybody gets paid. They can walk away. Glazers can walk away, and Sheikh Jassim, it's done. Nice and clean thing. Just Sir Jim Ratcliffe, the more I read about it, I'm like, Jesus Christ, this is going to take how long?
That looks like a messy deal.
Man? Like, just even if he gets accepted, they then got to go for all these bond thing, all these loans, all these like other shit. Like, it just seems like an absolute nightmare, and it just seems like it's going to go on into next season. And when then the transfer window's ruined, beginning of next season's ruined because he's not able to. Like, it just seems like an absolute mess, like an absolute nightmare.
Yeah, for sure. I'm going to read a couple of comments out. Pierce saying we're getting the new Glazers. I fucking hope not. Henry Jones saying, to be honest, we all know what the Glazers want to sell Ratcliffe. Otherwise, this would have been 1 month ago. Daniel Raj saying our new owners will be aliens all the way from different galaxy. That's the only way. And RK Jian saying Glazers out always. So,
absolutely.
Always. Yeah. That's the thing with the Ratcliffe bid for me. It just seems like a mess. It seems like one big mess and so many loopholes and things to jump through. And what's going to happen with the stakeholders that are still there? Now it's 60%, but it was 69%, and then it was 50%. Like, what the fuck is going on? And it makes logical sense to me that Sir Jim was in the race. Like, he was basically going to win it. They had everything sorted. And then this new bid, the Glazers are like, oh, actually, yeah, we think we might go with that now. So it wouldn't surprise me if Sir Jim's kind of sorting his documents out now and saying, like, oh, actually, I can give you 70%. And they're like, all right. And then you go to the other side, another side, other side. It's like the end of playground shit. Like, you just, I don't know, man. And then plus all this, like, Mbappe stuff that's coming out on top of it, where I was discussing it this morning. I was only joking. Like, I was literally just pulling at a few strings, just saying, like, Mbappe to United, wouldn't you? What's your thoughts on the Mbappe situation, Sam, coming out alongside this in a sense?
I think it sounds like he's not happy with the deal that he's got and the money that he's got, and he's angling for a lot of money, a lot more money or something like that, or he wants to go to Madrid because he's seen an opportunity. Benzema's gone, and he feels like this is the time that he can make an option. Apparently, this letter that he wrote that's been released was sent last year, apparently, and he was just reiterating his intention, but he's saying he's staying this season. Like, he put a tweet out saying he's staying this season, he's not going anywhere, he intends to see out his contract. So who knows what's happening. I know, is it Julian Loren put a price out saying it's around 150 million, which to me is a decent price for Mbappe,
euros,
to be honest. Yeah,
as well.
So I mean, it seems like a good price. So I think Madrid offered near that or just around that last time they went in for him, didn't they, before he signed that new contract? Yeah. So it could be an option. There's a couple of comments there, I'll read them out. Daniel Stewart, why isn't anyone asking why the Qatars or Sir Jim even thinking of overpaying by 50% for Man United just to have the Glazers 4.5 billion, take it or leave it? I'm not sure what that means.
I didn't understand that. Sorry.
Joseph chat, this ownership saga really has put a comma in the transfer window. I don't think any deals will be completed before the ownership sorted. It doesn't look like it, does it? Because the Mason Mount deal's on hold. Obviously, Harry Kane's out of the question right now. With the Rasmus Højlund thing is there, but nobody seems to be doing anything. I don't know. Like, nothing happened. FIFA World Cup status, Mbappe with Qatari's marquee signing. I mean, not at this point, but maybe. Adam, at this point, I think the second coming of Jesus Christ will happen sooner than the Glazers leaving. Definitely. I definitely agree.
That's getting clipped.
Mark, we need new signings ASAP. Those Glazers still tossing around. No clear end in sight yet. Absolutely. And then final third, 150 million, 1 year left in his contract is crazy. Yeah, well, he's the best player on the planet. Arguably. Like, I think that's a decent price for him, to be honest. I was expecting 250, 300, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah. And then Danish Iqbal Zagu, whenever I open YouTube, first thing I do is check the community section of your channel. Keep doing the good work. Thank you, Iqbal. Appreciate it, mate.
Yeah, I think it probably will end up being the actual full financial package for Mbappe. You're talking probably about 300 million, aren't you, to be fair? Make sure everyone, by the way, I've not even mentioned it once yet. Please do leave a like on the video, by the way, if you're watching now or you want to watch it later on. Leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new around these parts, and let us know about the ownership situation. Are you as fucking frustrated as we are with it? Because it's got to the point now, we're talking about it every single day, and obviously as fans, you're reading it every single day. You must be frustrated with it. You must just be get your tethered head now and just like, it should just be rather than Glazers out now, it should just be like, get the fuck out of the club. Just fuck off, sell the club. Hashtag trending worldwide. They need to know. They must know. I don't get how they can sit up in their offices and just relentlessly let this go on with everything. It's absolute madness to me. Because I know they're absolute bastards. And I know they don't care. And they never had no emotional tie to the club, regardless of whatever they've said. But to sit there whilst all this is going on, not have one thing put out and just wait for everything to constantly, like, it's just like, you absolute bastards.
It's the billionaire millionaire mindset. Like, they're so cut off and isolated from the real world because they live in this world where they don't talk to normal people or people who are just every day. Yeah. They're so cut off, so they just form this delusion of their world, because they don't receive any criticism. They don't receive any people from outside telling them, maybe don't do that. That's a bit stupid. Don't do that. They just get people going, yes, absolutely, because they're so rich and people are trying to get to ride the coattails. So they just get. This is why you see all these like actors and celebrities who think they're the best thing since sliced bread, because all they get is people just telling them how good they are, how great they are, how amazing. They don't speak to anybody. Say like, can you imagine if Joel or Avram spoke to the average United fan? They'd be in for a fucking rude awakening. My word. Like, just imagine if they just sat down and just was like, right, we'll take questions from the fans. They'd never leave the house again, because the vitriol and the venom that comes out would be insane. Like, just absolutely insane. So it's just, they're so cut off in the real world. They don't know reality. They don't live in our world. They don't live where we live and see the world the way it is. That's the way it is. Load of comments. I'm just gonna get into a couple. Adam, would an Mbappe number 7 sell more than a Ronaldo shirt?
I don't know. No, I don't think so.
No?
I don't think so. Not in my opinion, no.
Shrindi, useless ownership, Glazers. Yeah, still delayed. Yeah, I'm afraid so. Medi, wherever Mbappe goes, Real Madrid or Man United, the fee get paid from shirt sales within the first year. I mean, arguably, definitely, yeah. I could definitely see that. Adam, Sam, you're amazing. Appreciate it. Thank you, mate. Danielle Stewart, I said, why is no one questioning why Qatar and Sajim are playing to the Glazers game? They're taking the piss out of everyone. Both Qatar and Sajim are walked away now. I got you. I'm with it. Yeah, I mean, I think the reason they haven't walked away is because they've put so much effort and so much time into this. Like, if they walked away, they'd just be like, what was the fucking point? I think they're at the point now where you're too far gone and you just have to go to the end, don't you? Like, and just see what happens. Danish Iqbal, we don't need money to teach Jassim or Sir Jim Radcliffe. We need proper management because we generate our own money. We need a wise person to spend. I agree, but we're in debt. We're in £1 million worth of debt because of the loans that the Glazers taken out. So that needs taking care of. So we would generate our own revenue, but we'd have to pay the debt off first. So we wouldn't have any other money. So that's the problem. Farm management, potentially enough for the amount we got for Anthony. Add 12 minutes out, we could have easily got Leacher and Anthony. Neil Saki, they're up their own arse. I agreed, mate. Just get the deal done. Dan Rice, Glazers should be called businessmen either. With no background in business, can run teams like Everton a lot better than Glazers do me United. I mean, Everton are not fucking great, are they? Like, they're not in a good position. Adam, final comment. Word from their camp is they're frustrated. It boils down to the Glazers. We've seen how they are in transfer windows because Joel signs everything off on club related. Yeah, that's what James was saying, wasn't he, yesterday on the interview show?
Yeah, even with the Glazers level and their standard, what you expect from them, because they are rats, it still surprised me how long this has taken when it got announced in November. If you would have said to us at the start, because you remember doing the show, it was me, you and Adam won it when Ronaldo got terminated and then the Glazers got announced. If we would have said we're still discussing it and we would have been no further along really mid-June, you'd be like, that is insane, surely not. But here we are. Do you
remember we were saying, oh yeah, it's going to be like before restart, end of March, first quarter?
Yeah,
like, yeah, excellent, amazing. Oh my God. And now it's fucking middle of June and we're still going.
If anything, now with transfers, you get the excitement dragged out. And when we actually get the player like Sancho or Bruno, it's not reciprocated as well because we've been waiting for it for like years, basically. So we're like, well, happy he's here, but all the excitement's been taken out of it. With this, I hated the fact that it's dragged on, but when they actually go, you best believe I'm going to have a bottle of champagne outside Old Trafford, popping it, like singing from my lungs, mate, because this has just been an absolute portfolio of what the Glazers are all about, isn't it?
Just ruining any sort of excitement or any sort of like nice things that happen at United. They've ruined transfers, they've ruined trophy ceremonies by fucking being there. Like, just fuck off. Like, just literally fuck off. And
simple as that,
man. Let us enjoy football for once in our lives, for God's sake.
We put a poll up before saying, will we see new owners before the end of the transfer window? A lot of people still feeling positive somehow, but I like that there's positivity in the chat. 73% saying 27% saying no. So there's, still a little bit of optimism there, which is nice to see. Just the last thing I wanted to touch on was the David De Gea situation. There's been a couple of reports on that today, Sam. Apparently Al Hilal want to sign David De Gea. There's a verbal agreement done with De Gea with United, but the contract is still not signed. Apparently, we want to sign a #1 goalkeeper as well. That's the kind of latest rumblings that are coming out. So, what is happening with this? There must be something in the air, right? Because why has he not signed this? Why do you think? What would be your logic or reasoning? Do you think why he's not signed it?
It must be about money, mustn't it? Like, it must be.
Do you think?
Like, yeah, because there was things about he has to take a pay cut because he's on what 375k, I believe. Yeah. That's what he's going to. So they've said he has to take a pay cut, and I know there's been rumours flying around of like how much, but we don't know because we're not there. We don't have the contract, so we have no idea. So I think they've offered a significant pay cut. And he's not happy with that, and I think maybe the contract isn't that long either. I reckon it might be like a 2-year, 3-year deal or something like that, or maybe a 2 with an option, a 1-year option. I think he's not happy about like the uncertainty in that. So it could be a number of factors. I think it's one of them two. But if Saudi want him, fucking take him, have him, absolutely have him. Pay him all the money he wants and just fucking take him. Like I'm done with it. I'm done with having a goalkeeper who just continually gives possession to the opposition team every time he takes a goal kick. Every time.
Yeah. It's a weird one because he doesn't strike me as the type of guy to go to the Saudi league. You always see things coming out from his. You know what I mean? Like I want to work hard. I want to fight for.
He said he wants to go to Spain, doesn't he? Because he's family.
But there's no options in Spain. No viable options. So it's kind of like, well, it's either you go Saudi, mate, or you. Do you know what I mean? I think the issue is with him and why he's still not signed it is because he's waiting to see maybe what happens with the ownership thing and when that goes through, and then if they're going to go buy a goalkeeper, if they get some extra cash, or let's say we save money not getting Kane and we get Rasmus Højlund, there's a bit of extra cash to play about with there, and that you got David Raya, for example, who's going for like 40-50 mil. Yeah. Maybe there's something in that, and they're like, well, if they're going to bring in someone like that, what's the point of me staying here? Because it's just, again, that's for something I don't want as well. You remember Henderson and De Gea a couple of years ago, back and forth. Is he #1? Is he #1? Like, you want that solid #1 option in it rather than just two going neck and neck, in my personal opinion, anyway.
Yeah, you can't. Goalkeeper is one of those positions where you have to have a #1, and that's the guy you go with, because defenders need to know who's playing behind him. If you're like 1 week it's some other goalkeeper and stuff like that, you can't. Like we said with centre back partnerships, that's what you need. Partnerships with centre back. You need a goalkeeper who's going to play week in, week out. Obviously, you can rotate in like a cup competition or something like that, or like say it's an injury, like obviously you can rotate then, but goalkeepers tend to play 99% of games. Like, they don't rotate Edison and Ortega match to match, do they? Like, that don't happen. Alisson doesn't rotate with, I don't even know who the backup goalkeeper is at Liverpool.
It's the Klein. It's fucking hell.
I don't know who he is.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
And then Ramsdale doesn't rotate with the Arsenal backup, does he? Like, do you know what I mean? He's consistent. And then you saw Leno was the Arsenal goalkeeper. Ramsdale came in, took his position. Leno left, and he went to Fulham, didn't he? Because he was like, I'm not playing first team. That's how goalkeepers are. They want to play. Unless you get a really lucky break like we had with Sergio Romero, where he was happy to be the second goalkeeper and enjoyed it, and was like, and then we treated him like shit on the way out. Then yeah, you kind of have to have a goalkeeper. Like, your second goalkeeper is either a goalkeeper who's past his prime and is looking for the last thing, or it's a young, up and coming lad who's training, getting his way up. You can't have two goalkeepers in their prime fighting out for a place. Like, it just doesn't work.
Yeah, we've got Adam Keller, Irish fella. That's it. That's the one I was looking for. Yeah. He's actually been all right in cup competition. Fair. 19 people in the chat, by the way. Please do subscribe if you're new and smash a like on the video. I was just going to touch on then. One thing we mentioned from last summer was always the fact that we only had one player on the plane on it. We had Malacio, who was part of pre-season pretty much, and then that was it. Now, we put the fixtures up on the Twitter before the pre-season friendlies and then the tour fixtures as well. Pre-season kicks off on the 12th of July against Leeds in Oslo. We're currently on the 13th of June, so it's less than a month. Yeah. Less than a month, literally.
Transfer window opens tomorrow.
And the ownership still isn't sorted. We've not really made any concrete, advancements with players. I mean, Mount's personal terms agreed, but that can happen with a lot of players.
They've told Mount, haven't they, he has to wait because Chelsea are not budging on the £80 million valuation, which is ridiculous, by the way. But I think
Class A targets as well with Kane.
Yeah.
You've got Harry Kane who's like 100 mil, and they're like, no. Like Daniel Levy's going to push that.
Rasmus Højlund is like basically doing everything but putting a transfer request. He's moved to Erik ten Hag's agent. He's said, I'm a massive United fan. I'd love to go there. I think it'd be great. He's done everything.
He's twerking, isn't he?
And we're still not making a move for him either. So it just seems like, it really does seem like, until the ownership situation is sorted, we ain't gonna make a move. Like we aren't gonna do it. So I think forget about it signing anybody until this is sorted, because I don't think we do.
Yeah, and then in the same breath, once it does get sorted, you might then see a domino effect. I think that was something that James said as well.
I think that's what
when the
doing.
Mount deal happens.
They're lining them all up. They're going, Højlund, we're going to come in.
Yeah, getting
sort
everything.
Personal details, Mount, personal details, all that sorted, blah, blah, blah. That's all good. I think they're lining them up, and then they'll just, like you said, just go, right, new owners, bang, 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 knock it out. And then we'll hopefully have at least 2 or 3 players for the pre-season tour in a month. Hopefully.
Hopefully being the key word there, right? Yeah. I'll read a few more comments out and I'm going to head off. Dan Raj saying we need a goalkeeper who's tall and big in stature. City, Liverpool, Chelsea, Madrid, Inter all have tall goalkeepers. Adam saying City complete the treble and we get linked with Pickford. I never thought I'd say it, but I'm delighted that I was at a Harry Styles concert with my missus. Very different things there. Marky Mark, Glaze, I love their shitty PR stunts. I bet they're celebrating the jump of the stock price. Yeah, we know what they're like, don't we?
Do you know what I was saying about Dan mentioned there into Onana? Do you know how refreshing it was to see a goalkeeper and he was getting pressured, like Haaland and people were pressuring him, and he's just like, it's all right, it's fine, got it, and he was just cutting balls into the midfield, just dinking them over.
Light work.
Wow. What's that like? What's that like to watch? That must be amazing, because I was just watching. I had this like panic in my heart because I'm so used to David De Gea when he gets the ball and I see a player pressing him. I'm like, oh God, this is going out. This is going against someone and going back. This is going to go. And he was just like absolutely chill about it. And I was like, God, I wish we had that. It's
like Lissandro from a goalkeeper, wasn't it? Like just not anyone near him. The City players were scared to press him because he go, no worries, mate. Little chip pass over the top, which De Gea can never do.
No.
He even did one into like halfway line as well, like low driven.
That's what I mean, straight into the midfield like he was doing it.
Gorgeous.
Flex Felix, the fixture list comes out Thursday. We do Brighton, Brentford like last season and go panic buy. Oh God, I can't do another Brentford watch along.
I can't. I just can't do. I can't do this again, let alone before even the season kicks off. I can't have everything stagnated again. Erik ten Hag's second season, you're like, right, we'll get this right now, Eric. We promise you we'll get this right. And it's like, oh, well, we don't know what's happening with the ownership situation, so we can't really sort out transfers yet. And he's like, well, what do you want me to do? Take no one on pre-season, take the exact same team that I've got and have the same, like, come on, mate. Like, this is, I bet you, I'm not even seeing who City's been linked with. I know there's Kovacic that's in there that they're talking with at the minute. Yeah. And I think there was another one as well.
Weren't they looking at,
can't remember the name.
Guardiola from,
Guardiola from Leipzig.
Yeah.
Watch them deals. When that window opens, watch how quick they get them deals.
They probably Guardiola, they probably already lined it up, and as soon as the week,
because he wants to move.
Yeah, and then they'll just be like, "What? 100 million? There you go, sorted." Because that's his release clause, isn't it? He's got 100 million release clause.
Yeah, something around that. Yeah.
For Shah Sam, who is a Real Reds Ultra member, if you want to join the Ultra membership, please do. It's £4 a month. You get extra content from that nobody else gets. You get a badge next to your name, and you get, let me just put it in the chat, you get this little dude, little Nick. Look at that,
little Nicky.
Yeah, you get that as well. So he's Shah Sam said Onana might be better than Alisson Nelson for what I saw on that day. Yeah, he looked so good. Flex Felix, Onana was so calm doing that Champions League final. Yeah, exactly. It was just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous that he's that good. And he's worked with Ten Hag as well before. So
yeah. He seems happier into though, that's the only issue. But you know, sometimes when he talks on it, it's a weird one. Just very quickly on that Real Red Ultra membership, we have got a starting 11 now. We've got a full team. So we are going to do a live show at some point soon. So if any of you guys want to be a part of the show or have a chance to feature on the show, what we're going to do is we're going to put your name into a hat. We're going to do a live show and then pull it out on the live show. And whoever, obviously, whatever name comes out, will feature with us. So yeah, appreciate everyone consistently supporting the channel. I said it at the start, and I'll say it again, but genuinely it means a lot to us because we're doing this every single day, consistently, day in, day out, and it's because of you guys, essentially. So yeah. Yeah, I think we can pretty much wrap it up there, Sam. Like it's just clarifying where we're at the minute with the ownership situation, what's happening with David De Gea, are the Mbappe fucking reports true, all that kind of nonsense. And I think we've cleared most cobwebs. So yeah, happy to end it on that.
Yeah, for sure. Check out our other videos. We did an interview with James from MUFC yesterday. Lots of really interesting info in there. Lots of info.
Yeah.
So please do go check that out as well.
The Rasmus one was good, wasn't it? Just on that, what he mentioned about his agents there.
Yeah, so go check that stuff out. It's an interesting watch. Some really good information. Nick did a show this morning about all this nonsense that kicked off. So if you want a full timeline of what everything's gone on, go check that out. There'll be videos all the rest of the week, so keep your eye, keep notification. But the 77% of you are not subscribed and you watch our content. Sort it out.
What are you doing?
Subscribe. Like just literally one clip. Subscribe to it. That's all we want. Just give us that. Then you watch the content anyway. So just
means more than you know.
Follow all the socials. They're just there below me. TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, all the nice stuff. Graphics, news, the clips from the show, all that good stuff. Go give us a follow. They're really getting some good numbers, some good followers. TikTok, what is it on now? 12k, 13k?
No. Keep going up. 23.
23. Nice. Yeah. It's TikTok. We're on our way to like 50k on that. Instagram's like nearly 1,500. Twitter's just past 1,000. So it's all getting bigger, and it's thanks to you lot. So please continue that on.
And we're lining a guest up as well. Hopefully, we've almost sorted it. It's
possibly this week, but we will let you know.
Potentially. So yeah, keep your eye out for that. Turn on the notification bell so you don't miss a thing. And me and Sam will see you guys in the next one. Cheers, everyone.
Peace.